I saw a man lose a woman's interest in a laundromat. Nothing dramatic happened, no rejection, no argument, no embarrassing line that ruined the room. He was helping her. He was joking. He was clearly trying to be the kind of guy a woman would notice, and she did notice him. That was not the issue. The issue was that every time he tried to make himself clearer, the space around him got noisier. It reminded me of the dryer in the corner, the one shaking so hard all the clothes inside it started sticking to each other, static everywhere. That is what trying too hard can feel like. It was a Sunday evening, which is already a strange emotional category. The weekend is technically still alive, but everyone in the laundromat knows it is losing. There were maybe 7 people there: a college student folding black t-shirts, an older man reading a paperback, a mother separating tiny socks with the focus of a surgeon. Near the dryers, a woman in a green sweatshirt was trying to get a machine to accept her card. A guy a few machines down noticed. "That one's weird," he said. "You have to push it in like it owes you money." She laughed. Good start. He came over, helped her with the card reader, and for a few seconds the whole thing felt easy. Then something shifted. He stayed one beat too long. He made another joke, then explained the joke a little. Then told her he had been coming here for years, so he basically knew the emotional politics of the dryers. That line was funny, the first time. But he kept adding. He pointed out which machines were fastest. He told a story about a sock that disappeared for 3 weeks. He mentioned his job, but in the careful way people mention their job when they are hoping you will ask a second question. The woman kept smiling. Not fake smiling exactly, more like customer service smiling, except nobody was getting paid. That is the smile people use when they are trying to keep a moment pleasant while quietly looking for the exit. Across from them, the dryer kept thumping. Every few seconds, the clothes inside slapped against the glass and stuck there for a moment before falling back into the pile. That was the scene. A man trying to create connection, a woman trying not to punish him for trying, a machine in the corner turning clean clothes into a small weather event. The strange thing about attraction is that effort does not always read as effort. Sometimes it reads as noise. You think you are making yourself more visible. The other person feels more static in the room. Static is different from hostility or danger. It is interference, a little too much explaining, a little too much checking to see if the joke landed, a little too much polishing of the version of yourself you hope she receives. None of it is terrible on its own. Together, it makes the other person work. She has to laugh enough, respond enough, signal that you are doing fine, make the moment not collapse, carry your need to be received well. That is a surprisingly heavy thing to hand someone inside a laundromat. I do not think the guy was bad. Honestly, I recognized him a little. There is a particular panic that shows up when you want to be liked and you can feel the moment slipping away. You start adding more of yourself, but not the relaxed version, the edited version, the version with footnotes. Here is my joke, and here is why it was funny. Here is my job, but casually. Here is my opinion, unless you hate it, in which case it was never serious. Here is me being helpful, but please notice the helpfulness. The signal is not bad. The static is. A few minutes later, another man walked in carrying a laundry basket with one hand and a phone charger in the other. He knew the woman in the green sweatshirt. Maybe a neighbor, maybe a friend. Hard to tell. He looked at the dryer shaking in the corner and said, "That machine sounds like it has unresolved issues." She laughed differently this time. Shorter, less polite. He did not chase the laugh. He just dumped his clothes into a washer and asked if she was still fighting the card reader. She said, "I won, but it was ugly." He nodded like this was a respectable outcome. Then there was quiet. Not awkward quiet, just quiet. Nobody rushed to decorate it. That was the difference I kept thinking about. The first guy made the moment about how he was landing. The second guy let the moment have its own shape. One created static, the other lowered the noise. And lowering the noise is underrated. A lot of men treat attraction like a volume problem. If she is not responding, become more interesting, more charming, more confident, more mysterious, more something. But sometimes the room does not need more. Sometimes it needs less interference, less proof, less adjustment, less emotional paperwork. This does not mean becoming quiet in a fake way. It does not mean acting detached, bored, or above everything. That is just another performance with worse lighting. It means letting your words arrive without asking them to do too many jobs. A joke can just be a joke. A kind gesture can just be useful. An opinion can stay in the room without needing to win. A pause can exist without becoming an emergency. That is often what people feel as ease. Not perfection, not mystery. Ease. The feeling that they do not have to constantly respond to your self-image. The laundromat guy probably went home thinking he needed a better line. I do not think he did. I think he needed fewer little receipts attached to everything he offered. No receipt on the joke, no receipt on the help, no receipt on the story. Just offer it and let it either land or not. That is hard, because it requires trusting that a moment can survive without you managing it. But attraction often starts there, not when you finally become impressive enough, when the static drops low enough for someone to actually feel you. Attraction gets harder when your need to be noticed makes the room noisy. So the next time you catch yourself adding more, polishing more, explaining more, trying to make sure she sees exactly who you are, pause for 1 second. Let the room get quiet enough to tell the truth. You might not need to become more noticeable. You might just need to stop interfering with the signal.